It is the holy grail. It is the holy grail of digital transformation.
And we go live. Is organizational and cultural transformation possible at scale?
Yeah, it's look, I'm still in the process of discovering that, understanding that. It is the holy grail. It is the holy grail of digital transformation. You have these 7 building blocks, and if I use the word block in a different sense, as in blocking, yeah. So of the seven blocks, organization transformation or organization change is today the block. Yeah, is the block. Yeah. The issue today in digital transformation is not about technology. Yeah. Most organizations have figured out technology to an extent, some more, some less. But really, if you look at the large traditional companies, what they're really struggling with is organization change. So the fact that organizations need to transform themselves in many fundamental ways is a given that I'm very clear about. Yeah. How you do that is a more complex puzzle. Yeah. Now let me talk a bit about what are some of the changes that are required. Yeah. Now the essential one of the essential requirements to win in the digital age is speed. Now today the way organizations are designed, the fundamental, so let me ask you a question. You've been asking me all these bouncers, so let me ask you a question, that what do you think is the fundamental, the root design principle behind organization, the way organization structures and processes are designed? What is the root, what is a key design principle?
I mean, I may be totally off the charts here, but I think the key reason or the intent is to keep things in order, and that order again becomes the limitation of that system or the structure itself. So while the intent was good to bring something or to do something, to establish something, but that itself stops the flow, or the building block becomes the blocking, as
Very
you
good,
pointed
very
it out.
very good, very good. I'll yes, I'll just refine maybe what you said. The core is really about not making mistakes. That's really the heart of it. The core is not making mistakes. It's about risk management. Yeah. Why else? That if you have a process, you have the maker checker, and then on top, you have somebody working, and you have a supervisor and a supervisor and a supervisor. It is to make sure that things don't go wrong. It is essentially, it is this whole great sense of risk. Yeah. And that's one of the very fundamental thing, and that is what slows down things, because you have multiple steps in the process, you have multiple levels in an organization, and that's just very very fundamental change that needs to happen, a very different attitude to risk, where you can design simpler, flatter organizations, straight through processes. Yeah. Now this is a very fundamental change, Siddharth. It is a change of mindsets, which have been embedded over like 100 years or more. Yeah. The second thing, which is very fundamental, we talked about in some of our earlier conversation, is about, hey, the digital problems are interdisciplinary problems. They are fundamentally customer problems. Yeah. Customer doesn't care how you're organized. So how do you now break up your organization so that you're organized around the customer problem? Now, this is, if you really look at the difference between digital natives like Google and Amazon and the more traditional enterprises, as per my assessment, this is the main differentiator. Because digital natives, they had a clean sheet of paper, so the way they have organized themselves is what they call the product organization. The product is the customer problem. And whether, whatever is the customer problem, you have marketing, data science, engineering, blah, 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 all come together. Now for traditional organizations, breaking that and going into that mold is a very big thing. You're talking about organizations which have got tens of thousands of people, in many cases hundreds of thousands of people. Yeah. So these are just two of, I can talk about many fundamental things that need to change from an organization perspective, but these are two very material ones. I may add another one, which is, how do you make the organization more human? How do you make the organization more connected? In a digital world, again, this is one of those paradoxes. In a digital world, which is driven by data, which is driven by machines, my view is that the need to connect at a human level is even higher. And how do you do that? So these are, so maybe I'll pause there. That, look, this is the holy grail. That there is and especially for the large enterprises, this is going to be, to my mind, we talked about digital is, lunch on day one of first test match and all of that. Whether they go and win the test match series, I think will hinge on this piece. How well they are able to transform their organization.
Very good point, Nitin.